Hello to another digital edition of Ali Tech Talks. We're very excited for this new edition. We got new services coming up and we want to talk about this. So I'm here today, again, Oscar Garcia, Chief Technology Officer for Ali Global, lead of the Technology Services Group. And here with me I have...
Nice to meet you, Oscar. Thank you very much. My name is Carlos Garcia. I'm Digital Marketing and Demand Generation Manager of Allied Global Technology Services, and I'm in charge of the demand generation service for all of our customers.
So Carlos had just shared with us, the demand generation, the services that we just launched, which is great. I mean, we were very excited about this. When I heard about this, I know there is a few people that might heard about this, but it's very important, especially today. I'm thinking about, on the digital arena now, where everybody is not just physical, but really in the digital world, that we needed to get a different kind of demand, a different kind of lead generation in a way, or something different. So I want to ask you, because I think it's important for the customers to know, Carlos, what is really demand generation? What are your thoughts about this?
Sure, Oscar. You just said it. You said one thing that comes with demand generation, which is lead generation. Mm-hmm. What's that? Just like one tip of all the recipe,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, demand generation actually, it's all the activities that we do to drive awareness and interest into our products or services in order to build a healthy pipeline. Obviously, it's also based in a lot of data. It's not just like communicating things to a relevant audience. It's to capture data, this audience, to nurture them, to learn from them, and to conclude about all of the things that we learn from our audiences, to reinvent our strategies every day. So, in short, this is demand generation.
But I'm guessing when I hear you talking about listening to different channels and different things that is out there, you might be thinking about, or I might be thinking about Twitter, I might be thinking about Facebook, I might be thinking about Instagram. And with it, there's two things there. One is the big data thing, right? Where you get a lot of volume and data into it, which we're not gonna talk about that today. That's topic for a different area. But of course, we got data analytics and other stuff over there. But the other is when the demand generation, when you're listening to this, you're really listening digitally to your customers out there. So I'm guessing behind it gotta be technology that connects all the dots, as we said in the US. Is that so? So tell me, how do we build that demand generation? What is the process? What is it that we do and serve our customers today with these services?
Okay, I think the question will be like, what builds demand generation? Okay. Well, demand generation, it's a mix of all the initiatives that we can do through the whole client's journey that we may have with our customers. So it's a mix of digital marketing, graphic design, UI, UX design, web development, SEO strategies, community management, also research and cold calling, because there are platforms that allow us to get a lot of data for our customers by filtering them, their demographics, their characteristics, and so. And also data analytics. But data analytics, not as big data, but analyzing my customer behavior when I already have my customer, let's say on our CRM, like how long does it take for my customer to purchase.
So it's really intelligence. So we're gonna provide a customer with intelligence from our side. We're gonna give them insights.
Yeah.
Right, really in depth of what we have seen for them to react,
exactly.
Which is more than just optimization with certain things, right?
Yeah.
It's really knowing your ideal customer profile or something related. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and also knowing your sales team, like how do they behave, how do they react to the opportunities, how long they take, and so it's taking the whole marketing and sales department of our customers and audit it, support them, automate it, right? Because all of this is doable because of automation. Automation is what powers all the services for our customers.
And that's when I heard about this, it's not just one body. So a team like Technology Services, where we got a big infrastructure, we got project management, we got big data engineers, all the cloud partnerships that you can think of, and on top of it, we got this demand generation. you just see, the lead comes in, but behind it is all this infrastructure, the brains behind it, that is a lot of engineers that's backing up the service. Because you said community managers, you said SEO, you said web developers, all those things, right? So unless you have an infrastructure like technology services and Nale Global, where we prepare the engineers, where we prepare all these, I won't say digital assets or resource engineers to provide us that sort of service, will be very, very difficult to provide. So I'm glad that we can really have the services to our customers, because they're small or large, in a way they can benefit for the infrastructure that we have. So we are, I was gonna say, we are a demand generation cloud system for them. Use as much as you can and as many products as you do. So that's great. So what will be the process how do we look at the process? What does it look like, the process?
Okay, to describe it easy, the demand generation process, it's a cyclical process that has 4 phases. One is concept or conceptualization. Then we have execution. Then we have review and optimization, which is a daily work that we do with the accounts we work with. And then we have the analytics process, in which we conclude and go back to conceptualization. And this is something that goes on and goes on and goes on for as many growth we can provide for the customer, right?
So you were saying about there's a process, right? The different phases. Now that makes me think about the man in the moon, right? When the humanity through the United States, we went to the moon, right? It's not like it's gonna be a perfect, because you want to reach that goal. You see your clean customer, you see the perfect eyes, that person is out there, right? But you haven't at the end figured out what the color of their eyes is or whatever characteristics. So it's like the moon. You want to be there and you want to shoot over there because it's your target. Now, to get to the moon, you don't go directly, right? As you go along, you start to move in small pieces, right? Because you start to listen and kind of like adapt to what the environment is. Is that what we're saying here when we go into the design and trying to really adapt all the time?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. To explain it in more detail, well, I just told you, right? Concept, execution, review and optimization, and analytics process. So on the concept, you need to be sure to have a brand identity, which is your logo, your colors, your typography, your design principles of how does your brand will look in the world. You're gonna need to have your digital assets in order, that it might be website, social media accounts, online advertising accounts, and then you will have to work on the value proposition of the company, like why they should get our services or our products, and then your CRM, which is like what makes everything possible. Because in the CRM you have a sales process, which is the most important part in order to close negotiations and to bring the revenue to the company. You have the game rules, which is really important. We establish these game rules for our customers so they know how to react in order when the opportunities come. And then with the CRM, you do the analytics process. And we will talk in a little bit of time, a little bit later, we're gonna talk about this analytic process. Why is that so important? So then you go to review and optimization, to execution, sorry. On execution, you need to configure all the online platforms to make advertisement. You need to configure, for example, you may have, to give you an example, you may have Facebook, Google Ads, LinkedIn. And so these 3 platforms can generate traffic to your website. To have a second action to is convert a lead from your website to the CRM. Also, these platforms are able to generate leads by themselves and connect them to the CRM. Then on the CRM, you need to start nurturing your leads. Nurturing your leads means sending email marketing campaigns, creating retargeting audiences. And why you do that? Because you need to qualify them, you need to discard some of them, and you need to start negotiation with the remaining ones. That's the idea of the CRM.
That's everything goes behind it. So that's really in a nutshell of the services. And I'm glad because when we have all the web developers that we have, all the engineers, all these connecting dots is already been taken care of. So for our customers is basically, you need to do this, we're gonna help you to get this. So we're taking off the customer's shoulders all this pain of trying to get this and try that the campaigns are not in time, that this is not here, so everything goes into us. And not only that, but you are saying to me that it will create intelligence for them, the way that they can react upon what they see in the market. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And so let me talk about, because in a business person, because if I want to sell my product, right, I want to really measure how effective it is. So tell me, as to wrapping up for our service, if I give you $1, how do I know I get that $1 back on something else? If that's the case, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, that's called ROI, right? So that's one of the key metrics of the key KPIs that we need on their services. With all of this, let's say structure, this connection, this automation that we will do, we will be able to track like which ad generates which lead, that generates which negotiation that has this specific value. Let's call it $1,000, for example. I know that talking about $1 and $1,000 is way too far, but to put it in some way,
that's right.
That's how you will know if you're having a positive ROI on the services that we're gonna deliver. Well, to you in this case, right? Right. So, well, we were on the execution, right? Then comes, I think this will explain it a little bit more. There, after the execution comes the review and the optimization, which is a daily work that we will do for the customer to help, so that he can only focus on the things that really generates value to, which is attending your customer, right?
Right. Correct.
The customer relationship.
That's what it's all about.
On the everyday tasks, you need to optimize two things: your CRM and your advertisement platforms. On the advertisement platforms, you need to optimize your reach, which means how many unique people is looking at my ads. Your impressions, how many times my ads are being seen. Your frequency, which depends on the industry. Frequency means how many times each person sees my ad. Then you need to optimize your CPL, which is cost per lead. Am I buying the lead at the price that I need it in order to fulfill my goals? And by the end, am I getting the enough amount of leads that I promised based on a previous industry analysis, right? Then on the CRM, which is the important part where we make it easy for the customer, we go every day and tell you, okay, what are your overdue activities? You have X amount of leads.
Is that, may I interrupt there? So you were saying that we're going to help a customer to make sure that things are moving. So we're actually promoting their product and make sure that the sales teams become effective sales teams.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna come to your sales team and we're gonna tell you, okay, you have, let's say five overdue activities from yesterday. That's your high priority. You plan 5 activities that you didn't complete it. So go first there. Then what are your 2 days activities? Does they make sense? Do you have enough load of work for today's activities? What are your planned activities? Like the activities that you will do with your customers in the future. Will you call them, email them, send a WhatsApp, whatever you would like to send? But the important thing there is, are you planning way too far in the future, or are you being assertive with your planification?
Right. So let me, because we needed to have another session about this, because I think our customers really needs to understand, or maybe not given an in-depth for the design. I think it's called for the second part, but really what we're doing as a wrapping up here is that for this first part, because definitely we need a second part for this one, and stay tuned because we're gonna get more about this, and you're gonna see analytics and how things really work in the real world. But as an ally global, we are allies of our customers. So what that means is they're focused on what they have to do. Everything that is from a technology perspective, from in the case of from call center, that's the case, or in the case of this digital, everything goes into us, and they're focused only on what they have to sell, what they look like. So okay, so wrapping up, any last thoughts on this first part, because we're gonna get the second part. So stay tuned because it's gonna be the second part. Any last thoughts for what we just talked to our customers?
Well, I will say that every customer should give it a try. Right
Absolutely.
now that we are in a really competitive
Absolutely.
world, everybody is doing digital marketing, everybody is going digital since, well, I will say a lot of years ago. So right now you need like the right tools, the right team, and it's really expensive to have an in-house team that can
Absolutely.
perform
I
this
can
for
see
you.
that.
So we already have them, we have the power to do it, and we will help you focus just on the things that gives value and revenue to the company.
That is fantastic. So really, thank you everybody for listening to this first part. This is not going to be the last one. Really, is the first part for demand generation. So I want to say, give us a try, right? Thank you for listening today. We are Ally Global. We are technology services, and we have demand generation for you guys. If you want to hear more about this or really look at it, visit us at allyglobal.com. Thank you once again for this Ally Tech Talks. Thank you, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Oscar.